It's always a pleasure bringing you a very exciting edition of Sister Sister. You're tuning live to 97.3 Citi FM and as well on Citi TV. And this is the show that allows you realize that other people's problems sometimes might be bigger than yours. We go through some of the most interesting relationship conversations. People send in their stories, and together with the most incredible group of ladies, we analyze, we give our thoughts, we give our advice, and we hope that this will allow you make the best decision for whatever situation you might be in. Of course, we encourage you to get interactive as well. Use the hashtag #SisterSister to be able to send in your thoughts as we discuss everyone's story. Now, this show is proudly brought to you by Onga Mama's Helping Hand, Kel Kids Toothpaste, as well Ghana AIDS Commission Red Ribbon Campaign, and as well Chloe Roberts. My name is AJ Akwakosap, and when I come back, I'll be getting into the first story, and of course, you get to meet my awesome sisters. Stay with me. You're tuned in to Sister Sister right here on Citi TV. We're live as well on 97.3 Citi FM and coming to you live from Life Mate Furniture located in North Industrial Area opposite Malcolm. Please pass through for your incredible furniture options for your home, your office, or whatever space that you want to decorate. And as well, a very big thank you to our proud sponsors, Onga Mama's Helping Hand, Kel Kids Toothpaste, Chloe Roberts, and Ghana AIDS Commission Red Ribbon Campaign. I have to say a very thank you to First Choice for my lovely hair. Now, allow me introduce my incredible, beautiful, very, very eloquent, and as well, wise sisters who will direct you the best way that they possibly can. For my extreme left, I'll start with the lovely, dressed in black and white, Olivia. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
How are you doing? You look lovely today.
Ah, thank you. I'm shy.
Always gorgeous, always gorgeous. Also sporting shades of black as well, looking absolutely dapper with it, is the lovely Felicia.
Hey.
Hi, Felicia. How you doing, darling? You're good, my love?
I'm doing well. How
Fantastic.
Are you too?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, we're praying for the dollar to rise. And
Shall
you
be
see,
well.
hey,
Hey.
before hey, I'm sorry, Citi, my daily affirmation. Citi is beautiful. Citi can rise.
Amen.
Citi will put the dollar to shame.
Amen.
Because
Hallelujah.
we are suffering.
Preach,
I bought
sister.
sardines for 10 cedis.
Chale, me, my area
I can't
is
breathe.
11 CDs.
Wow.
All of a
Chale.
sudden, nobody likes corned beef. Nobody likes.
We can't eat it again, no.
Right now, it
We
is
are in
just-
a gobekinke economy.
Thank you.
Maybe they can't cry the Gary. Let's do
We
the
can't be asked sardines to the KK again, no.
Hey, but but you know, I also believe that God also prospers His children in the season of famine.
I mean,
Yeah.
So we just need to
minus
start like
us.
minus us.
We
In
will be
Jesus'
good.
name, we will prosper. Kenke or no kenke, we shall eat and we shall
I
be full.
swear.
In Jesus'
Now,
name.
allow me welcome my Scorpio sister in the house, Rosie. How are you, my love?
I'm great, fantastic. Always happy to be here.
Oh, we love to see it. We love to see it. Now, ladies, are we ready for today's little letter? Because this one is a real page turner.
Oh.
Let us get into it.
Okay.
Hello, sisters. I need help. Sisters, I've been dating my own blood brother for 11 years. And it started when our parents were away for a trip to the USA. I was 15 then, and my brother was 17. I was bathing one evening when I forgot my towel, so I asked him to get it for me. He opened the door and started to make advances towards me, telling me how curvy and how beautiful I had become all of a sudden. Before I know it, we were kissing. Our clothes went off, and he joined me in the bathroom. We made love, and that's when I lost my virginity. After this, we started dating. We slept together in the same room for a month until our parents got back from their trip. Even then, once in a while, I managed to sneak into his room to have sex. We fell in love and managed to hide it from our parents and promised not to date any other person in our lives. Honestly, my brother is really handsome and any girl will surely want him. Fast forward, I am 26, working, while my brother is 28 and heading our dad's business. Everything was rosy until our parents started giving us pressure to get married and settle down. They started getting worried about how my brother had not even bothered to introduce a lady to them. I started getting uncomfortable when our parents started to make these complaints. Some months ago, my brother managed to get a girlfriend he introduced to the family. I got so irritated and furious with him, and his response was, "We can't do this forever." After sleeping with him for 11 years, this is the heartbreak I get. So I decided to get pregnant so I can keep him all to myself. Now I'm frustrated and I don't know what to do. Ding,
As
ding,
in,
ding.
she's pregnant now, or she's deciding, or she's decided.
She didn't state, but from what she says, she's hoping to get pregnant for him. But she's currently frustrated about how to proceed with everything. We really should pay attention to how our kids grow up, though, honestly. But I'm not even sure who to start with.
know, right?
Rosie looks like she doesn't want to. Let me come to you, Rosie. Let me start off with you.
I can't think. I can't process this because no parent would leave siblings behind
Yes.
and expect something like this to happen.
Absolutely.
And the best I can say is maybe the parents were not open to the kids, especially about sex education and things like that. And they were left to being curious about each other because I don't know what would be so exciting at 17 to see your own sister's naked body taking a bath at 15, such that you needed to comment, to touch, to kiss, and even proceed to, to the fullest extent of intimacy. It means that you had a lot of unanswered questions in your head, like you were finding your own feet. I don't know how to explain this. And because now they're 26 and 28, that's like so long ago. So 15 to 26, I'm looking at 11 years ago, yeah. So I'm thinking that 11 years ago, maybe his parents were not too open about sex and sex education, and information was not as rampant as it is now. So it was just two teenagers being curious about each other, and this happened. And for it to happen for 11 years, and the parents still have no clue that there's something off about how these two people are engaged.
Because they're siblings who love each other.
Come on, think about it. I mean, there's something that should jump at you, something that isn't right. So my problem is that I don't know how nobody picked on it, and they've kept this under, for so long. Now, the fact that they've kept it hidden for so long means that somewhere in their subconscious, they know it isn't right. But they couldn't help it. And this whole thing about I gave him my virginity, how am I going to explain to the next guy how I lost my virginity? Okay, my sister is there. He's not going to ask me to buy credits, otherwise she's leaving me. He's not going to say, do this, otherwise I'm leaving you. You have a natural form of bond for her already. She's easy to love. She's your sister. Occasionally you get pissed off each other, but hey, it's your sister. There's nothing you can do about it. So they just found an easy love to explore their teenage, whatever it is. Now, the only way out of this is professional counseling. Professional counseling. Professional. The reason I'm saying professional, I know some may subscribe to church counseling, but I think the only way out of this is proper professional counseling, because you see, I don't know. 11 years is too long a time to want to talk them out of it, to want to even tell them about the moral grounds. You see, you have to get to a point where you take her back to where it first started, to disconnect it from her brain. You have to re-engineer her brain and bring it all the way back into the, it's difficult. I don't know. I don't know whether I have the competency to actually talk and give a real solution to this. But I think that she needs serious professional counseling. Other than that, if the brother goes ahead to get married, she's going to cause all manner of problems in the marriage. She herself, if she decides to move on with somebody, is just to get back at the brother, and that man is going to be miserable for his whole life. So it's just going to be a whole... Yeah, it's going to be a whole... I'm looking for the word. That Nigerian politician who was using plenty words. Give me one of the words. To be a marital, quagmire. I'm trying to look for a word for it, but I just think that this for me is too heavy. Siblings, you wouldn't expect them to do that. Even if they try to explore small, quickly, something in their head should tell them that, hey, no, Rick, well, I know how kissing feels like. Okay, when you touch me, so I know how it feels like. Okay, now let's move on. But to have this to this extent, and you are thinking of having a baby for him. Now, because you are blood brothers, that baby is not going to be a healthy baby to begin with. There's science and statistics to show that when you have siblings, one of the same father and the same mother, having kids, most likely those kids are born with a lot of issues. So to start with, lady, don't even think about that to trap him. It's not on. And there's a reason why you haven't told your parents that the two of you are in a love relationship, because innately you know that it is not right. However, I'm not going to judge you, because I don't know what circumstances really led to that happening. And the fact that you've done it for 11 years, you've normalized certain things, you've justified certain things, you've told yourself it's okay. But I know there's a place deep down in your heart that you know it's not okay. So if you'd open up to counseling, feel free to call us again, or you, after the show, so we can recommend a proper professional counselor for her to take her through the process of dealing and dissociating from this mess. But it's honestly not a place you'd want to find yourself in. Not in the long run, not at all.
Alicia, any thoughts about this?
It might sound strange, but I'm usually not the first person to say this could be spiritual. But for some strange reason, I'm going to say that because it doesn't seem normal to me. This is not normal. Like, I just can't think about. I can't imagine sleeping in the same bed with my sibling, like having sex. For goodness sake, like, what will make you do that?
11 years.
11 good years to the, and you feel even entitled to him being yours.
Yeah.
And even after he's trying to break away from whatever this is, you feel like, no, it's not right for him to go away because he broke my virginity. Like, girl, I'm not judging you, but it's an unthinkable, like, situation. I can't imagine it happening, but it is happening. So the only explanation I can give is it might be spiritual. There might be more to it. So to add on to what Rosie says, beyond getting professional advice, I think you need to review your relationship with God, your spiritual life. It might be with God, it might be with Allah, it might be with whatever you believe in, but I don't think any religion will support this. So whatever you believe in, you need to start reviewing the kind of relationship you have with your spiritual, like, father or superior, and pray for help. Like, you really do need to pray for help. Beyond getting physical help, you need to have a mental renewal. And I believe praying or seeking spiritual support will help. Like, it will help, because everything about this is wrong. Everything, there's nothing good about it, and you're going to get pregnant. Like, as Rosie said, scientifically, it's not going to work. You are going to bring kids into this world who are going to suffer. Like, your parents, do you love your parents? How are they going to feel about this? Like, eventually when you get pregnant, they'll get to know about it, and I'm sure you know how they feel. That's why you are hiding it from them. So that is just a clear indication that this is wrong on all grounds. Like, I can't sit here to pretend that I'm going, like, there's no way to sugarcoat this. There's no way to, Rosie, I don't think we should judge her. Like, this one day I will judge. I will be the black sheep on the panel and judge her. Lady, it's wrong. It's for both of you. And I'm happy the guy is realizing it and trying to get away from it.
No, I'm not even happy. You, the guy, if you know that you can't do it for, why take advantage of your younger sister for all these years?
Rosie.
Please, let me.
He was the instigator.
Yes, and I don't feel like judging anybody, but I will not excuse the guy, even after 11 years.
I'm just saying, at least at this point, he's trying to get away from it.
After he has milked the cow, he has milked the cow for 11 years.
But ladies, at a point, someone has to walk away.
11 years was too long.
But Rosie, he's walking away. This lady isn't ready to walk away. Like, let's look at the positive aspect, like the positive bit here. At least he is walking away.
Okay.
And he was clear that this isn't right and it can't go on for long.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
At least there's a breaking point here. But what about the lady? It's time for you to like wake up, sis. Whatever it is, it's time to pinch yourself to wake up from this nightmare. Because it's bad. It's crazy. Like, you know, sometimes we try to make things sound better. Oh, I'm not judging you. Nah, yeah, girl, we are judging you. It's bad. You need to get away from this. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's not acceptable. AJ, I can't say more about this because I'm disgusted. I'm itching. I want to get out of this outfit because I can't imagine my kids. I can't imagine my siblings. I can't imagine my I won't even wish for this for my worst enemy. Not to say I have one, but no, it's not the best. I don't know. But
Olivia's face is
Olivia's
talking.
face, yeah. I'll let Olivia come in
I
back.
feel like somebody just poured cold water on me, and like I'm trying so hard to like comprehend. Like I hear Rosie, I hear like to her, it's normal.
That's all she's known.
That's
She's normalized
all
it, yeah.
she's known, and her brother has been her world. Her brother broke her virginity. Sweet me, sweet you. One thing led to the other, and he played on her psychologically. She decided we were dating. And for me, the fact that she categorically states that she and her brother were dating, it's like she's admitted that it's a normal
full-blown
relationship.
Yeah.
She is making it grow. She's investing her time, her energy, everything into this relationship. And it makes so much sense to me that her brother now wants to just get up and leave because men can decide just to have sex. But for a woman to be intimate with you, it's you have people who, okay, it's a decision, but at the end of the day, you also have a large number of women, and I do stand to be corrected, that before they decide to be intimate with you, they do it willingly and from a place of
They thought about it.
Yeah.
I care,
Affection,
affection,
or the desire to be with you.
to
in
be
real
with
sense,
you.
in the
This
real
is
sense,
me.
yeah.
I'm giving you my best. I'm giving you my all because you are my brother and I trust you. So it's the sad truth is that it's not real. Honey bunny is not real. Like, you need to wake up, snap out of it. You cannot marry your brother. It will not work. He's ready to move on. It was just sex for him. You might think he loved you, but he doesn't. He didn't. And making a decision to have a baby, listen, even with normal relationships, you cannot trap a man with a baby. Don't think that having a baby for your brother makes it easier or makes him will trap him. It won't do anything. All it's going to do is complicate your life. I don't know the implications after you decide to after you decide to get pregnant, the toll on your body, mentally, emotionally. Like, honey bunny, listen, Rosie was spot on. You need counseling, you need therapy. And there are good therapists out there who would take you back. To where it all started and help re-engineer, rewire your thoughts, help you understand the processes that you went through, why you were thinking the way you were thinking, why you were feeling the way you were feeling, and help you understand it. But I like to balance things all the time because there's one Bible passage that said when the lepers went to Jesus for healing, Jesus was categorical. He was very emphatic with them. He said to them, go to the hospital and go get checked to make sure you are okay. If Jesus, who healed them, asked them to do that to get validation from natural sciences, said that's why he gave us the wisdom and he blessed us with the ability to come up with medicine, the ability for doctors and all of that. That's why when people get healing in church, our pastors, the authentic, genuine ones, not the Sankwas ones, will ask you to go to the hospital and come back with the results. These were the immediate ones, and this was the previous ones, and this is the immediate one. I believe in balance. while you're doing what you need to do regarding therapy, pray on it. And it's at this point is more than critical that you find somebody that you trust. Because you see, I'm sick and tired of church people judging on people, church people taking people's stories. Hey, Asimesi's children were sleeping with each other. And you know what? This is the time that mommy and daddy need to come in. And please know that mommy and daddy, they are not going to be easy on you. You are going to shock them. But you need mommy and daddy's support, because mommy and daddy would have to be there for you. It's a family thing. And I don't want it to be kept as a family secret. And because I'm also sick and tired of families who go through abuse and they sweep it under the carpet. If mommy and daddy feel like, oh, man, boss, so don't mention it, don't. Listen, it's about you, and you need to be selfish about your sanity, your future. Where are you going to in life? Well, Rosina raised a very important point. How do you tell your partner to be that you
broke your virginity, your brother broke your virginity?
how? Maybe you don't even necessarily have to tell him that, but
How do you live with yourself?
how do you
And when you give
live?
that to the kids, how do you tell them their father?
How
Well,
do you live with
uncle is
yourself?
daddy. Daddy
Uncle
is
is
uncle.
daddy. Like, it's wrong in every sense. So you see, the reason why we're all emotional about this is that you think you are doing the right thing, but it's wrong. It's wrong. And I baffle, and it scares me as parents what we don't pay attention to.
Yes.
You know, for your children, for you to leave your children alone, 16 and young like that, thinking that, you know, like, for how long have you been leaving them alone? And did you have sex conversations with them? What is a good touch? What is a bad touch? Brother, you don't touch your sister like this. You don't kiss your sister like that. You don't kiss your sister. You know, it's okay to hug your sister the way mommy hugs her. It's okay. What is a good touch? What is a bad touch? Don't touch your sister's bum. Don't be too close up in her face. All of that is normal because you're growing up and your hormones are raging. So parents, we really, really, really need to be there. And it's very worrying that the parents didn't pick on it. You know, it's very sad.
At
but
17 and 15, how would they even think that
How
they
would
would?
they think?
See, if you have 6 and 4,
Yes.
you can feel like maybe they don't even know what's going on. You leave the 12, then maybe they'll do some
15 and
mini papa.
17, they
At
know.
17 and 15,
They know.
at least they have studied a bit of biology in
they
school.
have.
Yeah.
You see,
They
they are
have.
still
It's-
young technically, like in terms of adults, you know, the age being 18 or 21. But at least they know right from wrong.
They know right from
And
wrong.
they hid it.
For me, that
How
that
couldn't they
that
pick
was
it up? Because they could have, like, you see the signs.
For me, I have a
Well,
problem
you-
with.
the parents-
you
Well,
see,
you really see the sign?
You see,
You-
no,
you
Listen, you
see-
know what? I think that, you see, parents sometimes, I think there was a dispensation where parents felt like they needed to provide too much for their kids. So there's a dispensation where a lot of parents are all about working and rigging the money,
Yes.
taking them
Yeah,
to the best
that's
of
what it
schools, providing them with the best of things, laptops, phones, get them to travel consistently and all of that. So a lot of parents have missed out
Yeah.
on raising their children. Most children were raised, if they're lucky, by one parent. If they're lucky,
Nannies.
by one parent, most of them by nannies. We have a lot of children who relate more with nannies, with their nannies, than
and
with
the
their
television
parents.
and TV series.
At least in her time, that's okay. Well, yeah, maybe, yeah.
TV series.
And
The
TV
TV is the
series
best
and stuff
babysitter
like
right now.
telenovelas. And some of these nannies, trust me, their parents will be home and they'll watch quote unquote correct series and correct movies and
the
correct.
next one.
But the nannies, the kind of movies they watch, it's not about.
Appropriate for the kids.
Yeah, it's probably not even appropriate for the kids. So I'm just saying that, look, parents, you need to play a part in the growth of your children. You need to be able to have a fine balance. Your children should be able to come to you and tell you what is going on. You should have a system where 2 days doesn't go by without you seeing your children, talking to them, asking them how their day has been. What did you do? What did you not do? So you pick up on some of these things. That's the only way to pick on it if something goes wrong or something is out of the norm. So for instance, if they look, even a normal man and a normal woman, if you have a child, as soon as they start getting intimate with a man, or vice versa, as a parent, if you are close to your children, you can tell.
You can tell.
They get more self-conscious.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
They're looking in the mirror
they're looking in the mirror more. They are trying to do some white lies to do certain things.
Yeah.
You know,
Dress up
they're
better.
just, they are certain till, like, you just know it. That, oh, something is happening somewhere. You can hazard a guess, and then you can get into that conversation if you and the kids have that rapport. I think this situation, let me tell you something, basically it's poor parenting, period. If the parents had parented the kid, I know that there are some kids that, look, no matter what you do, no matter how you've gone by the book and everything, they still turn out how they're going to turn out anyway. But I think that, look, for them to hide it for 11 years.
Never get
and
caught.
the parents never got a hint. They never knew about it. They're rather putting pressure on them that, look, you know, you guys are grown. It's now time. That means if they were not grown enough for their business, like, they wouldn't have even known.
Yeah.
So it means that they are living somewhere. For them, they're all about business, you know, making the wealth onto the next generation and all of that. They've missed out on the growth of their children's lives. They don't know their children.
Wow.
You understand? So I think that this is purely on the parents' lap. And I have a feeling that even if, look, to break it to their parents, they will need that counselor because the parents probably in denial. Look, how is it possible?
Yeah.
We gave you the best of education. We gave you the best of this. You know, so the whole time, they're now going to be in shock and trying to put blame on the children's feet. But the reality of the fact is that they also have part to play. You see, kids, sometimes it's not about what you tell them. It's about what you show them. It's not about how you wish they will grow. It's about how you nurture them to grow. It's not about what you want them to see. It's about how you direct them to see what you want them to see. And it's not about them always come to tell you. It's about you paying attention enough to pick on certain things. Yes, you can never get it perfect because every human being is an individual. But I think that as parents, sometimes we are too focused on work, making money, getting them to the best schools, best gadgets, best this, and we lose sight of the basic elements of parenting, getting to know your kids, guiding them in the way you want them to grow, such that when they grow, they don't become a burden on you. When you train them well, they grow up and they become a pleasure. They become a blessing unto you. You see them and you're happy. Even if you have to die, you know that your children have been equipped with the necessary tools to survive in the world. You understand? But I think that this primarily is a parenting issue. Followed by the fact that the two of them too, like Felicia, if it's spiritual, are fine. But at the end of it all, this lady needs help. Yeah. The whole family needs help.
But you see,
in 10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. But you see, you need to start from a point whereby you know that psychologically you're wrong and you need to admit that what is happening is wrong. If you don't admit, there's no way you would be able to accept help. And once you're ready to admit that there's something wrong, everything is messed up in your life psychologically, first thing I need you to do, if you don't trust, if you're well-to-do and you don't trust therapists here in Ghana, what you can do is there's so many, if you're well-to-do, there are so many online. You can actually get immediate online help. And if they recommend or you do a bit of background, you'll find some really good ones here in Ghana. Now get them, sit with your parents and get your brother involved and let everybody be on the know, because mommy and daddy also need therapy.
Yep.
The entire family need therapy and all of you need to start from somewhere. And please, one thing that always works, I don't know what you believe in, this is my gentle, I'm not forcing you, plea, is that sometimes when you use your strength and you're doing everything, because sex is not just sex, what just happened is beyond you. You can try so hard to get yourself out, but you need God, you really need God's help. Go on your knees, have a personal relationship with God and ask God to please help you, and he will come through for you.
Well, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Use the hashtag sister and let us know exactly what you think about today's story. Of course, we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Sister.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a news search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the Go TV and Star Times box. Citi TV, it's your world.
Story 2, AJ in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
You're tuning in to Sister right here on Citi FM and Citi TV. We're live from Life Made Furniture, located in the North Industrial area where they sell gorgeous furniture for spot off, which we are seated on, encouraging you to pass through and get your own. A very big thank you as well to Ghana AIDS Commission Red Ribbon Campaign, Unga Mama's Helping Hand, Flurry Roberts, and as well Kel Kids Toothpaste. My name is Aja Pakosapon. Let me thank you to First Choice My Lovely Anne. Now it's time to go into the second story. The first one was a little heavy.
Too heavy.
The second one is even heavier. Brace yourself, ladies. Brace yourself. Hello, sisters. I need help figuring out my next step. My husband beats me. He beats me so much that I've landed in the hospital many times before. We have 3 kids together and been married for 10 years. I've stomached the abuse for the last 10 years, but 3 months ago, he beat me so much I honestly thought I was going to die. Since then, I decided to leave before he kills me. Problem is, I can't live with the kids because I am not financially stable to take care of them yet. But I know if I don't leave soon, he will kill me. I even get nightmares about it. Please, I want you to kindly help me ask if it is okay to leave an abusive marriage without going with my kids so I can get myself together. I was thinking I would wait for a while to get myself together financially and get me and the kids out. But the last beating has made me really scared. I don't want to die here. I am scared, but I love my children. What will they think of me if I leave them with their father and just go away? They see the whole abuse a lot and they understand. But will the world judge me if I leave without them? He is very financially capable to take care of them, but I am not. Please, what do I do?
AJ, I think this lady should run and run immediately. Like when it comes to issues of abuse, I get so personal with it because I know how it can be. It can strip you of your dignity. Like it makes you feel so less. But I understand where she's coming from, thinking about the kids.
Yeah.
The kids will be fine. The dad is not abusing them, and you've been clear, you stated clearly that he's in a better financial position to take care of them. Like the worst will be for you to go with them and go and mess up their lives, or stay and die and leave them miserable. So at this point, take care of yourself, get yourself in a better position to take care of them. Don't worry about money. One thing I always say is when I hear women complain about, oh, I need startup capital, I don't have money, I don't know where to start up. My sister, start going door to door and start washing. Washing is one job in this world that you don't need any capital for. And I'm sure any woman can wash. If I go to Rosie's house to wash, Rosie, what shows I came to your house to wash? There's clean. No mind, or clean. There's no sign on my face. And immediately you get income. Because when I go to Rosie's house to wash, I get water, free soap. If I'm lucky, I get lunch or breakfast. And after I get paid, immediately you can invest that money to start a trade. You can start selling pure water with that money. You can start selling fruit, and gradually you start building from there. And I don't think this woman doesn't have any friend. So this washing might be the extreme for her. But I don't think she doesn't have any friend who will be willing and open-hearted to help. And I'm sure she's in a society, in a church, in a group, a class, an old student association, whatever. There will be one person willing to open their gate to support. like one thing I've realized with Ghanaian women these days, and I applaud Ghanaians for these days, is we support other women, especially in abusive relationship. You will find support. Facebook, I know I can count numerous women on Facebook. You can reach out to. There's Tell It Moms, Tell It All, whatever. There are lots of support groups you can reach out to. Run and get yourself in a better state to pick your kids away from you. Because if you go and you don't have a good financial backing, or you are not even psychologically well or strong to take care of the kid, the man can easily come for the kids from you, and that might be a much more difficult battle to fight than just walking away, leaving them. What you can actually do to make sure they are in good care, once in a while drop by their school to check up on them, or ask your parent to be checking up on them. Because if you can't go to your house, I doubt your in-laws will be like, your man or husband will prevent your in-laws from coming over either. So you can just tell mom, dad, once in a while walk in and go and check up on my kids for me, or once in a while go to the school, put them in the care of their teachers. That, oh, you don't have to share your story to everybody. Oh, I'm not around, I'm traveling for work, I won't be around, please take care of my kids. But please, as for that house, don't be there, don't stay there. You don't have any reason to live in that house. Trust me, your kids will be fine. I don't think your husband will abuse the kids, but as I said, you should have a backup. Have your parents checking on them. You should be checking them on them in school from time to time. Speak to the teachers. Tell them I'm not around. I'm traveling for a while. Please take care of my kids. And lady, go and find help. And report this man. Don't just leave him. When you find help for yourself, please report him. Be ready to fight a battle. Because no other woman should suffer the same plight that you are going through. Nobody deserves that. Like, I don't know why a man should raise a hand at you and you sit. You can't, my sister, I can't even you can't spank me and I'll be there and watch you, like, for what? No way. No woman deserves to be beaten. No woman deserves to go through that. Not even emotional, not even verbally. No form of abuse is acceptable in no way, shape, or form. Whenever you find yourself in that situation, run.
Sometimes it's easier said than done. When you weigh your options, and you know, sometimes chronic abusers, right? If they no longer have their prey, like they no longer have the person that they want to abuse, they need to find somebody else. Depending on how many children you have and how old they are, right? I cannot guarantee that he's not
3 kids under the age of 10.
Okay.
Together 10 years.
Exactly. But you have your children growing up. You have some of them looking like you. Whatever it is that comes into him, I cannot guarantee 110% and say that he's not going to be abusive towards your children, because once an abuser, always an abuser, unless they're ready and willing to seek professional help, and even that completely restrain themselves from doing something like that. I don't see this man, I don't see anywhere from your submission that he even knows that he's an abuser. This is what I think. It's genuinely going to be difficult for you because you don't have the financial standing to be able to do that. Gather evidence. You know, I think that you can gather evidence. If your kids have phones, do you have phones? Because it almost sounds like the guy is really well to do. Getting some money to be able, because most of the time people who tend to do that, depending on your relationship with your husband, they come back and they're very sorry. They like give you things and they give you money, they give you stuff. So depending on whatever it is that they're giving you, maybe I stand to be corrected, but depending on whatever it is that they're giving you, can either one start saving or use it to invest in equipment that you can use to gather evidence. Get some kind of evidence against him actually abusing you. Get the law on your side. You can't be abused and lose your children, lose money. At some point in time, he needs to pay for it. And depending on how much you love him, you can actually help him to get help. You know, if you want to be in the marriage, if you actually love him, if you want your children to grow up in a family environment, but you need to start from somewhere whereby you are not disadvantaged. You are not disadvantaged, or you're not in a disadvantageous position. Because half the time I always hear as, oh, the women have to be strong, they have to get up, they have to go, they have to do this, they have to do that. But sometimes they don't even have the strength within them, because a lot is at stake. Their children, their lives, their education, everything is at stake. So sometimes I just feel like you need to have enough evidence so that you can get the law on your side, so that when you present it, depending on how you position yourself, depending on how much savings you have, when you present it to whichever lawyer it is you're presenting it to, at least you have evidence, you have a case. Okay, this is what I have. I cannot leave the marriage because I do not have capital. Do you see what I mean? But I want to be able to protect my children. That there is pure gold, because if he's abusive, the law can easily say that the tendency that he's going to be abusive towards, he's psychologically sick. He shouldn't even be in the same space with underage children. It's risky, and psychologically him abusing you in front of them is not good for the kids. And that there is pure gold. That's your exit. So please gather evidence, save up some money, and take it one step at a time. But make sure that you do it quickly, because your life is at risk. Your life is at stake. Think about, and sometimes you also need to be, I can understand that you can't be selfish because of your children. So if you need to start, this is your best way forward. That's what I honestly think. That's what I honestly think.
Rosie, you disagree?
No, I actually completely side with Olivia. I mean, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But I actually completely share the same thoughts with Olivia, because abuse, especially in a marriage, okay, so ideally, when everybody listens to this, the first thing is, no, this is not you, you can't stand up for this, you can't stand up for that. But everybody has their own realities, and there are things, cycles that people go through, and then it makes it difficult. Not that they don't know that it is not right for them, not that they don't know that it's not a good place for them, but it's just the right time to exit. That's the problem. You think about certain things, the children, in this case, her ability to even fend for herself, how much more her children, and all of that. So sometimes, you know, before I would easily say, no, jump out of this, do this. But sometimes when you grow, you experience a lot of things. It's very difficult to just say, jump out or stay there. But however, what the fact is that the lady is at risk.
Yeah.
Because abusers hardly change their tactics. Now they keep abusing you. And the annoying part is that they keep making you the reason for the abuse. Even though the abuse is on them. They have a track record. You're not the first person they've abused. They have a track record, and yet they keep making you feel like you are the reason why you are getting abused. Now, to make matters worse, they begin to make you into something you are not. So you have a woman who is always cheerful, always happy, now becomes nagging, is always complaining, is always talking. All of a sudden, is always talking about things happening in their home, is talking to people that probably are not even deserving of a space. Because she's so frustrated. There's nowhere to let out steam. Because sometimes this abuse may even come just because you are telling the man something that he's done that you don't like. There's abuse. Or there's something happening, you want to offer a suggestion. Who are you to comment about this? Do you know how hard I make my money? How dare you comment and want to tell me what to do? There's abuse in there. You know, and sometimes, look, there are certain things that we lose sight of when we are dating. When you meet a man who is quick to verbally abuse people, has a very short fuse, and is always arguing with people, always insulting people, quick to slap other people and treat you like a princess. Just know that it's just a matter of time. Your time is also going to come. And that's where Olivia's problem comes in. Sometimes you think that, oh, let me quickly exit. The children, he loves the children. You would exit and realize that now the children become the objects. Or they now become the victims of his abuse. And then it becomes very difficult. So most times women want to package themselves in such a way that they can exit with their children. And sometimes, you see, it's sad. The children are seeing this, they understand it, but 10 years down the line, the children may process it as, you left us with an abusive father.
Yeah.
They don't understand your thought process. And there's nothing more aching to a mother's soul than to grow up and then your children hating you or not having a relationship with you because they felt like you left them at the mercy of their father. And there are times when, even after the separation, you've gone, you can't prevent the father from having access to the children because there's no clear evidence that he was abusive towards the children. And now that you've left him, he now decides to abuse the children, even on your blind side. And the children cannot tell you because that's their father. So there are a lot of things that come to play here, you see. But like Libby said, the most important thing is that, look, get evidence. Get evidence. If you are beaten, take pictures. Go to the hospital. If you're afraid to go to the police station because it's a bit cumbersome, you just go to the hospital. Take pictures, go to the hospital, let there be a medical report. What is the medical report? It's in the files of the hospital. It cannot be expunged. Go to the hospital, make a report. Do all of these things. Now, a correct man, I'm sure once you're able to get up and go to a police station to lodge a report once, in today's Ghana, how they take domestic abuse is when you report it. They are scared to do it a second time. Because they know that once you go to the police station, most likely you can go again. Most likely they won't do it again because somebody who is working, he has his reputation to maintain. People like that, look, they are scaredy cats inside. They are abusers because they are insecure in themselves. They are abusers because they are not manly enough to be able to express whatever they feel to a woman in a decent environment, in a decent setting. So their abuse is just showing you how little of a man they are. Basically, that's it. You understand? So at the end of the day, these people are afraid of the law. When you go and take them to the law, you understand? Usually they are afraid because, hey, they come to catch me. They'll run away from home or something. You understand? That's how they are. So abusers will continue to be abusers. And it's time ladies see some of these signs before engaging. A man who is insulting anybody anyhow, trust me, it's just a matter of time. You'll also get abused. Number 2, start planning your exit. You're lucky you've gotten away with it for 10 years. Start planning your exit or hope that there's a real change. If the abuse was as a result of something, maybe a moment in his life, whatever, you go to counseling and maybe they're able to fix that, that's good on both of you. But whatever it is, start planning your exit. And like Felicia said, start making your own money. Start being able to stand for yourself. Be in a position where you can, it's not it won't be a privilege granted you to be in your children's lives. But you can actually prove that you are worthy of still mothering your children in the way they should go. If you don't do anything about it, and you're just afraid to leave, you're not making anything of yourself, you are thinking that things will just correct itself by prayer or anything, trust you me, what's going to happen is that those 3 children, they would either grow becoming abusers like their father. If you have lady children, girl children, they'll grow thinking abuse is normal. If you're extremely lucky, then you may have children who would hate abuse because of what they've seen. But most often than not, children copy what they see. In as much as they don't like it, sometimes they grow up to be what they accepting of.
Subconsciously.
No, like they think that it's not good. They know that my mother didn't like it, or my father is doing what's
wrong. But they end
wrong.
up doing the same thing.
End up hating their father for it and sympathizing their mother for it. But you realize that they'll get married and they'll do the exact same thing because that's all they know. That's what they learned practically, physically, and that's what's sitting in their cognitive. So the thing is that, look, sometimes there know a few abusers who have done it once, twice, and truly they've repented and they haven't done it again because of counseling, speaking to, and all of that. There are also some who will never change. There are some who will do it until you die, and they are the same people who collect donations at your funeral. You understand? Who collect donations and they will cry the loudest. They'll write the most beautiful obituary for you, and the way they'll talk about you,
my love.
my love, yes. And at the end of the day, and the thing is, have you involved your in-laws? Have you involved your side of the family? Sometimes family helps. But the thing is that such men who are chronic abusers, sometimes they get to a point where they try and pull you away from your family so that you don't even have somebody to turn to, a rock to go back to. So they suck you in, pretend you are their all, and then they start treating you like that, and then you have nowhere to turn. But if the man's family is correct, actually turn to your man's family, and trust you me, they would have some good, some good parts to play in your life. But whatever it is, it's not an ideal situation.
But it's not.
have to leave.
But to quickly wrap it up, and we have a few more minutes to wrap it up very shortly, but there are some people that may be tuned in right now, either via TV or via radio, who are currently in abusive relationships, and truly, in as much as they would love to be able to get the evidence or take some time and earn some more money, they know that is a ticking time bomb, and in a few days it could erupt, and the next eruption will kill them.
Yeah.
So they need to walk away.
Yeah, they need to.
Now, they honestly cannot afford to take their children. Is it okay for a mother in an abusive relationship to decide to walk away without taking their child? They honestly cannot take them along. They know that they would love to. And if all things were equal and they knew they had a bit more time, they'll be very willing to do everything that you're talking about implementing. Maybe the one who wrote in the story has the luxury of time to be able to do that. For some people, they don't.
They don't.
They honestly cannot gather enough evidence.
Yeah.
Maybe he destroys every evidence that you gather.
Even the next minute you're
Maybe
going to
doesn't allow her to go to
might be your last.
Or finds a way of ensuring that the hospitals can be able to control.
It's a tough
but you see,
decision to make.
No, but sometimes there are some pro bono lawyers around.
Granted, but then imagine if you're fighting with someone who is worth millions. And pro bono lawyers, great on that, but can they really stand up to some of the big law firms in Ghana?
Sometimes you just have to walk away, count your losses.
Yeah.
There are times when, look, you see, what we are saying, like we have the ideal situation where when it happens, just pick your bag and leave, get your bag, do, or sometimes just process. But you see, there are some kinds of abuse, especially if you're a woman who is worth your salt kakra. Sometimes you can stand up to it for some time and plan your exit nicely. But if you're someone who's not worth your salt, you're coming from a point where you know that you're not worth your salt. If they leave you alone with half a child, you can't take care of half a child. You know, so psychologically you put yourself down already. In a situation like that, you know genuinely that you didn't just leave to go and chill. You didn't leave to party. So it's okay to leave to be better. It's okay to leave to get counseling, to get help, psychological help, something to put your mind in the right frame to be able to think of what to do. Then the next time you are coming, you are packaging yourself to come for your kids.
That's what I was saying,
But going quickly back to the law, right? If you don't have that luxury of time to be able to gather evidence, but I would still ask that you've stayed in it 10 years, 20 years, even if it's just a recording on the phone, because that's almost your ticket. Because sometimes what it is that the police actually puts a restraining order on the guy, and the guy, you would be able to be in the house with your children, and the guy will be prevented from being within a particular circumference. So that's why I say evidence is key, even if it's a phone. You remember the woman who died tragically? It was all over the place. Big guy.
And it was evidence that she had gathered about him that got us all.
And evidence that she had gathered about and sent to her friends. So when it happened, her friends brought all the evidence out, and that's what I'm saying. That look,
that's all you need.
And that's why abused women tend to talk. They talk because, you see, sometimes you can't make certain things public. But sometimes it's important that you leave evidence with certain people. When something happens to you, everybody knows exactly what happens.
What is happening.
So in 30 seconds, can she walk without the kids?
I think she can.
She can.
It's going to be difficult. The reason why I'm saying that is because you leave, everybody you don't have evidence to claim your children back. Immediately you walk out, it's like you decided to walk out on your children, you decided to walk out on your marriage. The man has every right to hold on to the kids. You left, he didn't. So it makes it very dicey, and the children will forever think that you abandoned them. And if you're not lucky and you have a daughter, he's going to be raping her and abusing her, and she's going to blame you all. No matter how many times you apologize, it's genuinely not your fault. But without that evidence, you can't do nothing. And you can't do anything.
10 seconds.
Part of the evidence can be a report from a psychologist or a therapist. So that can also be evidence. So if you have to walk, go and see a therapist, and they can indicate that you are not mentally sound, and this your situation can be a cause of abuse or is a cause of abuse, and they can give a report, and that is evidence.
But not being mentally sound works perfectly for the guy, because then you're not in the right mental state.
No,
of
but
being
you see, no, I think
Before we go
I
into
get you
another-
though. I get
another
you.
debate.
Whether she can work. See, the thing is
get
that you see, I wouldn't advise any woman to
stay.
work without the children.
The children, exactly.
However, she can work temporarily without
Yeah.
the children, package it and come. Look, no matter what the situation, see, unless you're not a woman, evidence dear, you can gather.
Evidence day.
Evidence dear, you can gather.
women.
Especially from a man who feels he has you right where he wants you.
To be.
The man who is so confident that he has you right where he wants you to be, that is even the easiest person to get evidence from. Because they are so settled in their ways. They think they have dominated you. They think they've
predicted. They think they
that
know.
They've captured your brain. They've manipulated you. They now control you. You have nowhere to go. Look, you've stayed in for 10 years. Where will you go?
Yeah.
You don't have money. You don't have work. Such people too, when you are doing things, they want to prevent it and all of that. So at the end of the day, I would say you can't go without the kids, but go and use that energy. Like she said, get some evidence, speak to some counselor, make your case. There are people who heard you fighting, who heard him beating you.
Yeah.
The next morning, when you're putting ice on your face, you have witnesses.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
Take some
get those
selfies,
people,
yeah.
get that evidence, and then come back, claim the children, and probably put him behind bars. For assault.
I agree on that. And on that note, we bring the show to an end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you sent in your messages. Of course, use the hashtag #SisterSister to let us know your thoughts. But sisters, always a pleasure. The lovely, lovely Rosie, the always bubbly Felicia, and the always lovely Olivia. It was a heavy one.
Heavy show.
Yeah.
Too heavy,
Even a
too
heavy,
heavy. I mean, I
But
almost couldn't speak, but
Too heavy.
once
But
a talkative.
Always a
At
talkative.
least you all were, of course, always shining light and are giving us the best possible advice. And hopefully, our writers who wrote in this particular week have gotten the answers they need. Now I'll end with my final thoughts. And we wrap it up with a mind take for the very first one, which has siblings who've been having an incestuous relationship together for the last 11 years. I agree with my sisters that you definitely need to call in the big guns, get some psychiatrists, a therapist, to psychologists or therapists to come in and just have a conversation with you, my dear lady that sent in the letter, and as well your sibling, so you can figure out the best way to let go of this deep attachment you've had and this love relationship you developed with your sibling. Perhaps telling your parents will also be a step in the right direction, so they understand the situation at hand, so they will understand that their constant complaint of you both not settling down may have been what has triggered you to a point where you're considering having a child with your brother. I would advise you not to get pregnant for your brother. It's another kettle of fish that you do not want to be unraveling. It comes with too many health issues, and not only that, psychological and of course physical issues and social issues as well. So please do not, or take out the notion in your mind that you actually want to have a child for your brother, and rather think of ways in which you can separate yourself from this issue and this love relationship you've created with your brother, not only in your head, but physically as well. Now to our second story about our abusive gentleman, and our lady who sent in a story where she's dealing with an abusive relationship, wants to walk out but is unable to cater for her children should she choose to walk out. I agree with my sisters that gathering evidence is always a good thing to do, because in this particular scenario, should you decide to walk away and start off anew and find ways of becoming financially independent before coming for your child or your children, as you have 3 with the gentleman, how are you going to be able to justify to the world that you left because you were with an abusive man if there was no evidence to support that assertion? He could also challenge you, since he's also in a financially buoyant position, throw money at anything and everything that matters, and ensure that the narrative might be skewed towards him as against you. So please gather some evidence, even as little as you can. And if you can, maybe use this evidence to now try and get him to be kicked out of the house, perhaps. And which way you can now have a foundation in which you start off living your life. Find a way in which he will not rather pay for his crimes as against you having to suffer for being the victim for the last 10 years. And I hope you do find the clarity that you need. And I hope you are able to have and build a good, safe, abusive-free home for you and your 3 kids. Thank you for watching Sister this evening. My name is AJ Akwako. It's been a pleasure bringing you the show. A very big thank you to First Choice for my lovely hair, made with Sanak Hair Collection. And of course, to you for being tuned in. A huge thank you as well to Life Made Furniture, located in North Industrial Area, for allowing us each and every week come from their premises, bringing you another exciting edition of the show. A big thank you as well to our proud sponsors, Onga, Mama's Helping Hand, Kel Kids Toothpaste, Ghana AIDS Commission Red Ribbon Campaign, and finally, Fleury Roberts. We appreciate these incredible brands coming on board Sister. Until I come your way again, I encourage you to always do send in your letters to sisterislive@gmail.com. That is sisterislive@gmail.com. And maybe next week, your story was what we might be considering on Sister. You can find me as well on social media at AJ Sapon on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, generally every platform. Just look for me at AJ Sapon. And until I come your way again, keep watching Citi TV and keep listening to 97.3 Citi FM.